going to do the ID or no?
Let's see.
I don't see our live stream.
Moving company offering a wide range of moving services to and from residential and commercial locations in Butte and across the state. Let's Get Moving handles any and all forms of heavy lifting. For more information, including quotes, call 490-5521 or visit letsgetmoving4u.com.
Test stream 2.
This is a point of view program. The views expressed are those of the participants and not necessarily those of the station.
I don't. It says live. It says
Folks, it's time to evolve ideas. Evolution did not end with us growing thumbs. You do know that, right?
KBMF, LP, Butte, America's most radio.
One more. Okay, now.
We are a non-profit Butte radio station where a new volunteer DJ takes to the airwaves every 2 hours or so to treat. Thank you for supporting community radio by tuning in to 102.5 FM today. We are a non-profit Butte radio station where a new volunteer DJ
I hate new
takes to
Facebook, by the way.
every 2 hours or so.
By the way, it
to
says
create
here
their own
fishy
brand
on this
radio
thing.
show.
I don't know
Sometimes
how that
music,
happened, but we can
sometimes
edit
talk
it now, I
radio.
guess.
The 4 to 6 p.m. slot every Sunday has been home to the Post-Orthodoxy show for the past year, and sadly, due to unforeseen circumstances, today is our last episode to air on KBMF for the foreseeable future.
I don't know why
We have crafted this episode
We can
for your
change it.
listening pleasure
I will change
with
it.
thought-provoking quotes from history's best and brightest around the idea of censorship. If you're curious about what's going on, you're welcome to join us between now and 6 p.m. on our live stream at facebook.com/postorthodoxy, twitch.tv/theseviers, or Post-Orthodoxy on YouTube, where, as always, we look forward to your feedback and participation.
Hello, welcome to my home.
It's time for Post-Orthodoxy.
Okay,
The show
good.
about changing our minds. Yeah, man.
With your hosts, Dark and Eggsy Sevier.
Maybe what they believe about reality isn't all of reality? What? I know, right?
We're on a mission to have better time with more people more often.
The question is, how do you get there?
Post-Orthodoxy explores strongly held beliefs, how those belief systems divide or connect people, and what might be found beyond those reality bubbles.
Keep calm. Don't lose your head.
Eric Althoff. He
Everyone
is there.
has the right to freedom of opinion and expression.
I can't find the
This
video.
right
I have it. Share it off on my
to
page.
hold opinions without
I
interference.
have to be able to find it.
And to seek.
It was on the Post-Orthodoxy page when you scroll.
information and ideas
Hi folks, welcome to the
and
show. We're
and
having some technical difficulties using a different way to share the video. So instead of off of our personal streams, it is now being shared off of the Post-Orthodoxy Facebook page. If you're watching it on the Post-Orthodoxy page or on our page, it would help us if you could share it to your page or to other people who you think might be interested in the kind of programming we provide.
All right, I've renamed it.
Oh yeah?
I found it on your page.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh and see what it says now.
Share it to my page.
Now what's it called?
I'm suddenly starving.
Oh geez.
So,
Oh, Eric Althoff is in. Pia Soliwoda from Oahu, Hawaii is here. Thank you for tuning in, folks. End of season 1. Very good. We're
and
good to
season
go.
1 is true. Our first anniversary was, it was technically September 12th was our first official radio show as Post-Orthodoxy. We were modulating from Copacetic Conversations with Mokai Malope.
Yes.
He and Dark had been doing a show for a couple of summers where they interviewed people with strongly held beliefs and endeavored to have a kind conversation about stuff that people usually fight about.
Even a possibly productive conversation.
A productive conversation. Like, can we figure out why do you hold that belief, and can we get along about it?
Can we get over it with each other? Can you?
Yeah.
I let you have that. You can let me have mine, and we can find all the things that actually connect us beyond the small things that don't connect us.
Right.
Yeah.
And in cases where it got into deep human rights issues, such as racial problems or abortion, we actually had productive evolution with people who had just had a strongly held belief of a particular direction because they'd never had the opportunity to talk with somebody one-on-one about the other side of the coin that was kind. Post-Orthodoxy evolved from copacetic conversations. When Mokai left the country, we wanted to keep having important conversations about difficult subjects. And one of the last people that we had interviewed was Anna, who is struggling and or leaving her Mormonism.
Oh, yeah.
And when we went out for a drink after that show to talk with her about the show, we always love doing a post-op with our interviewees. It just became more and more apparent that there are so many people who are trying to get to a place where they can think their own thoughts. They're trying to get to a place where they don't just keep thinking certain thoughts so that they stay loved. I had that experience getting out of a cult.
Yes.
Dark had that experience getting out of a cult.
Yes.
If you're just now joining us and you're wondering what's happening, we made a radio show that's going to air for 2 hours on KBMF, hopefully, that is
fully entertaining for folks
very
who
entertaining.
Can't get online.
It's got some background crickets and a whole bunch of great quotes about censorship. And so that's going to air on KBMF.
From now till 6.
From now till 6, and we're going to have a conversation with you guys. Because
right. You're our main audience. Usually we have microphones in front of our faces.
We get to actually look at you guys.
We don't get to talk to you guys, and you're the guys that we are actually interacting with online.
For instance, Pia says, you're supposed to give me a snack now.
Oh, for showing up?
Feed your girlfriend.
Oh.
Because I was hungry.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll be okay. I'll just drink a ton of water.
No.
Now we can swear. I can say I'm going to drink a shit ton of water.
That's right.
Yeah, because we're not on the radio. We've been wanting to include more post-orthodoxy shows throughout the week where we can talk about things you can't talk about on community radio. And some events happened this week that have just sort of plunged us off the deep end into podcasting from home.
Right.
And so I'm going to share a link to a GoFundMe that I threw together.
I haven't seen it yet.
With my dying breath as we were running out the door. Because if we can just raise like $1,000, we can buy anything we would need, all the basic, like, not the Joe Rogan version of things.
No.
But like just a simple like right now we're borrowing a microphone.
Yes.
To record this show. It doesn't even have a case on the batteries on the back. And so we want to get some microphones. We want to get some...
It really helped to have a new computer.
Yeah, well, the computer's a little outside the $1,000 budget.
We're looking for some basic stuff.
If we're going to live stream to you guys at home, we need a real camera and real microphones and this thing that they plug into, etc., etc. Dave Pruden says, enchanté. Roy Sykes, hi, I got it to
Roy.
work.
Yay, Roy.
Thank you, Roy. That's awesome. And then 710-805 says, the microphone is picking us up from hella far away. Thanks for explaining. You're just getting our sound through the room of KBMF as usual on the live stream, and then we're recording it on a Zoom H4n for later, so we can have a podcast for later.
Right.
So Post-Orthodoxy started as the daughter of Copacetic Conversations, and has become a show where we talk about strongly held beliefs, dogmas, orthodoxies, things you're not supposed to ask questions about. Can we have cognitive liberty? Can we have free will? Can we have freedom of speech? Ideas have consequences, and when you're clinging to ideas because you're afraid you're going to get kicked out of something, or you're afraid you're going to die, or you're afraid you're going to be unloved, which is why I stayed in the church I was in for so long. And it came true. I left that church and my parents don't talk to me anymore, which is really unfortunate for me, but
it's unfortunate for them too.
The pathways that I have found in navigating the borderlands between belief systems, I want to share with other people who have just been popping up on my timeline and in my messages over the last few years, who are also having a hard time or maybe are like, I don't want to be like this anymore because I'm not having a good time in this worldview, but I'm afraid if I leave, all the horrible things will happen, because that's how they keep you in dogmatic worldviews, is the other guys are the bad guys, and if you go out there, you'll get destroyed. So you better just stay in here with these beliefs.
Right.
And I want to help people. Dark's mission statement as an artist is to have a better time with more people more often. And sometimes before you can work on having a better time, you need to work on alleviating suffering. Post-Orthodoxy has been attempting for the past year to alleviate suffering through cognitive liberty. And Dark has a very carefully prepared statement for why we are playing one thing on the radio and another thing for you on the live stream today.
I have some opening statements that we have written together, but I've added a couple of paragraphs. There may be some edits. Did you want to read that? Because we have two prepared statements. One is our opening statement. That was your kind of opening statement of why we're here and what we're doing. I have an opening statement, and then I have another piece that is an official statement that we will get to after we put this thing into context.
Yeah, and it's not all going to be official statements.
No.
We just have to say some really strong stuff, and we wanted to make sure that we're being responsible about how we said it. One of the things that's definitely come to our own attention over the last couple of months, on top of being afraid that we were being boring by talking about the same things all the time, we were listening to our own shows as we edited them each week and realizing our tone comes across as really confident. And confidence is great if you agree with what the person is saying. But if you don't agree with what the person is saying, confidence sounds like arrogance or something dangerous.
Something dangerous.
And since we're talking about things that exist outside mainstream belief systems, whether it's religions beyond Christianity, political structures beyond the US, right and left, red, blue.
Examining drug policy in America.
Mm-hmm. If you are ever confronted as a human animal with information that doesn't match how you think the universe is, that information is already scary, primally, whether you agree with it or not, whether the person is being nice or not. And we were already examining that we wanted to modulate our tone because we are doing these in service of ourselves and in service of our audience. We want to have valuable conversations with you guys. We want to share things that we've learned. We want to continue learning and evolving. And if overly confident tones are a turnoff, we can find other ways. That's why we wrote everything out ahead of time.
We're hoping to modulate our tones. So I have a prepared statement. I can read that. Ainsley is over on the keyboard. One of the reasons that we started live streaming on Facebook and on Twitch and on YouTube is to expand the capacity for our listening audience to interact and to give us feedback on our perspectives and the things that we are talking about. That is the point of all this social media.
That's why we're doing all this computer stuff.
Yes.
We're always like, please send us comments, share us sources with us, share your opinions with us. We're here to have a conversation with you guys.
Well, apparently there's a group of people that have not or declined to interact with us via the avenues that we have available to us while the show is happening.
And also, apparently, all of these people know us, so they could have just messaged us.
They could have messaged us, but anyway, so I'm going to read.
We said, here are our opinions, here's some data.
Yes.
If you don't like it, send us a message and we can talk about it.
So I got two pieces here. I'm going to read the first piece, which sets up the second piece, which is pretty juicy. Okay. This will be the final episode of Post-Orthodoxy, to air on KBMF until the specter of censorship is removed. We have been censored from discussing anything that might put into question the wisdom of choices made by our government concerning the COVID-19 lockdown and various other policies, governmental policies. I'll clarify the horror of that statement in a more exhaustive official statement after these opening remarks. We are calling ourselves a meta-news program, which is a fancy way of saying that we are an opinion show. We often look at current news on important topics ranging from drug policy, social justice, and politics to the current elephant in the room of SARS-CoV-2. As entertainers and educators, we operate under the meta-news idea to take an in-depth look at how we're getting our news, how that news is reported, and how that news is interpreted by the audience. The Post-Orthodoxy show Ainsley Sevier and myself, yours truly, Citizen DJ, Dark Sevier, are currently learning a very powerful lesson about the dangers of people misinterpreting content. This censorship that we are under this week was imposed on us by the station manager of KBMF. We understand that he was under pressure from a few very vocal radio station listeners to do something